Welcome to another episode of Evolutionary Grounds. Imagine dusk falling in Jurassic Germany. A tiny pterosaur, no bigger than your hand, takes to the air. This is Anurognathus, a creature perfectly adapted to the twilight hours, a wake-up call for the evening's insect buffet. Unlike its larger pterosaur cousins, Anurognathus possessed a unique combination of features, a small neck and a rounded skull. This gave it an almost bat-like appearance, a resemblance made even more striking by its furry coat. Yet, Anurognathus soared through the skies 100 million years before any mammal dared to take flight. Anurognathus was clearly a nocturnal insectivore, and its appearance was just the beginning of the story. Like many pterosaurs, it had pycnofibers, a light fur covering functionally similar to mammalian fur, a remarkable example of convergent evolution. However, Anurognathus was exceptionally furry. This dense coat likely served as crucial insulation against the cooler night temperatures. Intriguingly, scientists have suggested that this fur might have also played a role in silencing the flapping of its wings, allowing it to stealthily approach unsuspecting insects. This is a tactic mirrored in owls, whose specialized feathers enable silent flight for hunting mice. Adding to its nocturnal adaptations, Anurognathus had extraordinarily large eyes for a pterosaur. These would have been vital for spotting prey in the dim light of dusk and dawn. Crucially, there's no evidence to suggest Anurognathus possessed sonar, the echolocation used by bats. Instead, its hunting strategy was likely more akin to acrobatic, insect-eating birds like nightjars and swifts, who rely solely on their keen eyesight in low-light conditions. This points to Anurognathus being a crepuscular hunter, active primarily during twilight hours, a lifestyle that surprisingly also describes many bat species. One Anurognathus specimen even revealed small bumps around its mouth, potentially indicating the presence of whiskers. Nightjars also have whisker-like bristles around their mouths, possibly to protect their large eyes from struggling insects. Anurognathus could have used similar whiskers for the same purpose. Furthermore, the wings of Anurognathus show striking analogies to those of nightjars and swifts. They were short and thin, designed for rapid changes in direction. The flexible joint where the wing membrane attached to its finger further enhanced maneuverability. These features suggest Anurognathus was a master of aerial acrobatics, perfectly equipped to snatch swift-flying insects, even the dragonflies that shared its Jurassic habitat. However, this agility likely came at the cost of speed, making it a slower flyer than some of its larger relatives. Unlike those aeroplane-sized pterosaurs, Anurognathus was tiny, one of the smallest pterosaurs ever discovered. It could comfortably fit in the palm of your hand and weighed a mere 40 grams. Anurognathus belonged to a family of small pterosaurs, also called Neuronathids, characterized by their distinctive, wider-than-long skulls. While all Neuronathids were small, Anurognathus was the smallest of them all. The largest Neuronathid, Geholopterus from China, was roughly twice the size of Anurognathus and, based on size and teeth differences, may have had a broader diet, perhaps including fish or other small animals. The diminutive size of Anurognathus may have been a survival advantage. It's possible they evaded larger predators by hugging tree trunks and branches. One Anurognathus fossil was even found with its wings tightly folded in a stressed position, suggesting an attempt to flatten itself against a surface for concealment. During this period, Europe was a collection of tropical islands, reminiscent of the Bahamas today. Dinosaurs were relatively scarce and small in this environment, but pterosaurs thrived. Anurognathus likely had less to fear from dinosaurs and more to worry about from larger pterosaurs. It belonged to the Rhamphorhynchoids, named after Rhamphorhynchus, a pterosaur that coexisted with Anurognathus. Rhamphorhynchoids were the more primitive pterosaur group, dominant in the late Triassic and throughout the Jurassic. They typically featured sharp teeth, shorter, broader wings, and long tails, and were generally bird-sized or smaller. Later in the Jurassic, a new group emerged, the pterodactyloids. These pterosaurs would eventually become dominant. They were generally larger, had short tails, elongated hand bones, longer, thinner wings, and by the mid-Cretaceous, many had evolved beaks and lost their teeth. Anurognathus, while a rhamphorhynchoid, exhibited features from both groups. Its wings were thin, like pterodactyloids, but still short and attached to small hands, and notably, it lacked a tail. In fact, its name, tailless jaw, reflects this characteristic, essentially a mouth on wings. While these features could have evolved independently, many researchers suggest Anurognathus represents a transitional form between rhamphorhynchoids and pterodactyloids. Its adaptations for maneuverability in flight, honed for catching insects, may have paved the way for the specialization seen in giant pterodactyls and asdarchids of the Cretaceous. Anurognathus was discovered in the limestone of the Solnhofen Formation in central Germany, a site renowned for its exquisitely preserved fossils, even capturing the feathers of Archaeopteryx. While Anurognathus fossils are rare, this is likely due to their small size, making fossilization less likely. However, these tiny, nocturnal hunters may have been a common sight in the Jurassic Twilight, flitting through the ancient skies. If you want to support me and this channel, consider becoming a Patreon. Thanks for watching and have a good day.